Good morning to everybody. Yeah, that's fine. Oh,
Looks a little too high, but maybe. Okay.
that's fine. We don't need to catch up our baby bump.
Yep.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to everybody. So today it's Monday. Monday, April 15? 15,
Yep.
yes.
Tax day back in the U.S.
Well, so today
Huh.
it's
Let's give everybody a few minutes to join, because how's everything going today? Tell them what's
okay.
going on around the house today. Wait.
All right. So we have my brothers here, my younger brother, and we let him to work fix this our closet because underneath the termites eat the woods. So what we do, we just take off the shelf that close to the ground and pour the concrete so there's no bugs or whatever hiding underneath to the wood. So that's what he does, and underneath to the wood. So yeah, and aside from that, he have to do with the dog. What's this place fence to add some more bamboo because the dog knows how to climb in, going to the other fence through to the kitchen. So we have to do that so they don't have a place to use their claws to climb on top of it. And also in the front of the gate the entrance close to the road. It's because before we're just for the concrete for that. And the concrete will broken and then messed up. So I want him to do the horizontal, all the, what's this, the bars there. So before we put the concrete.
Yeah, the rebar to
Rebar, yeah.
solid up, because that concrete is right in front of the driveway, so there's going to be a lot of weight on it from vehicles going up into the driveway. So the concrete that was there before didn't have any rebar or any grid inside the concrete, so it just cracked. So he'll redo that, but he's doing the on the bottom of the cabinets in our master bedroom and in our bathroom. They've got termites here, but our house is all concrete, so it's only where the wood is, and it's not like it was crazy damage, but you could tell the wood was falling off and falling apart, and this bottom support shelf couldn't support a lot of weight. So we're just getting rid of the bottom and pouring concrete in the closets, and then we're going to put wood on top of that again and just keep an eye on it, and then we'll have the base, at least the structure will be something that bugs can't get into and everything. So that's good. And her brother's real handy, so he's doing things around the house, and I'd much rather pay him or somebody from his family than other people that I don't know, as long as it's in their skill set to do. So that's my blessing back to her family. If we have things that need to be done, if I can hire them, and they've done great work so far. So Tim, good morning from Florida. What part of Florida are you from? I moved from Florida when I came here, so I lived in Florida for 5 years. The last 5 years I was in the U.S. I started out in the Cocoa Beach area on the East Coast. Then I moved over to Sarasota. Then I went down to Naples, and then I went back up to Sarasota before I came over here to the Philippines. So a little time on the East Coast, a little time on the West Coast of Florida, but I know a lot's changed there. Even just in the time since I've left, things have gotten crazy expensive. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're having breakfast. We have some cereal.
Yeah, so today what we're going to give everybody the news, bad news, but we're going to be
It's a little roadblock, but that's okay. Life throws roadblocks at you. We were scheduled to get married this past Thursday. We had to be downtown at 3 p.m. Well, 2:30 to meet. It was being married at the courthouse, with the judge was going to do the marriage and everything. And about an hour before we were supposed to be there, she got a call.
Mhm.
and they were asking her about the paperwork, right?
The legal capacity from your origin. And that's not the same, the legal capacity from the consulate here, the embassy. And I until now, I still don't understand what kind of legal capacity for that, because it's this one that you sworn in, when you get it. It's like, for them, it's like an affidavit only, but the one that they're asking for, it's from the,
Well, they said it's
uh,
from the embassy, right?
yeah, from the embassy also. Nakato.
But we went to the embassy in Cebu because we knew we had to get the legal capacity. It's just something that the Philippines requires. So we went there. We flew there and stayed in a hotel and got the legal capacity. I went to the embassy. I told them what I was doing. They do it all the time. They gave us the legal capacity. It's basically a sworn affidavit. You're on video, and then they do the legal document and everything. And the judge just said it's not the right form. They need another legal capacity. I said, well, that's what the embassy gave me. The embassy said this is what they use. And that's all they do for expats all over, whoever come to Cebu, to the embassy. So the legal capacity is not a U.S. document because back in the U.S., there is no legal capacity to marry. As long as you're not married, as long as you're divorced and you've got the divorce decrees and all that stuff, then you're free to marry. But here, there's another document that they require the embassy to affix to, but the embassy already gave me everything. So I think there's something underlying it why the judge didn't want to do it, but we were very upset because she had family come up. We had her gown rented. We had plans to get together with the family and food ordered and things like that. And it was an hour before. They didn't apologize for it. It was just like, well, that's just what happened. So it was frustrating. But I let her handle it because I'm a visitor here. It's her country. And she was mad enough for the both of us, so it was good.
Well, actually, the judges doesn't show her face. I
Right.
think, to us outside, and then the waiting area outside the court, outside the courtroom, it's very hot. There's no fan, there's no whatever. So we wait there for a while. And then the secretary that have the documents, receive the documents from us when we submit that from the admin down, RTC, from the RTC office. And then she come out, and then she was preparing, and then she want me to sign to pull up the documents from their office. So I said, why should I sign that? You don't do anything anyway. So you want to hold our documents that you can't do anything to us? You're canceling our ceremony for the last minute. It's okay if the day before that they do that, but it's 2 hours before. So uh, what if you had the catering, the visitor, you have a party? What they gonna do? The judge no consideration. That was the judge do it. And then it's not our fault that they are require more documents. And they said, according from the people that I was talking about, on the phone before we come over there to get our documents, she said, the memorandum is came out from since 2016. Because I told him, I said, I've been married there back in 2012, and there's no problem. I said, why now? Why now it's comes like this? And then they said, well, the memorandum comes out 2016. And then once we're there, and then I asked here the memorandum. I said, show me the memorandum that asking for these documents, that we don't know anything about that. And then she said, that's it, last year, October 31. So I said, is it anybody just guessing when there's a memorandum? Is it, real or something like that? So I said, I'm not gonna sign anything for this paper when I am getting, this is my documents and I will get it. But I'm not gonna sign. But later, she's still calm because I know they know that they're mistake. And she said, well, we don't see all the documents. I said, well, The connecting government center, when we get our marriage license, they're the one who collected all the complete documents and that is been approved. And then we were submitted into the admin of the RTC, the court office, and that was approved also. And then we submit to the room, the branch, the second floor, which is branch 49, you know. And
Yeah.
that was a new judge there because the judge there before, he's retired. And um, and that's it. They decide to cancel for the last minute. And they said, oh, because of holiday, we submit on Thursday before they should have to make an appointment in time to the ceremony and tell us. You should look all the papers if that is acceptable. So what they do, they just make a reason like a holiday. No, it's not holiday. Thursday, Friday, and Monday, 3 days that to check all the papers for us, because they're the one who choose the day for us, and they're the one to set the time for us. So we're not demand time and day from them. They're
Right.
the one who choose.
Right.
So I don't understand. And then, and then we got our papers from there, from the judge. And then we go back to the government, the city hall, where we get the marriage license. And then the people there is obviously, they don't know anything about the new memorandum. And I have the memorandum bring from the judge to them. They said, this is a old. The woman said, this is an old memorandum. This is nothing. This is gone. And then I think, they're under the judge. So the lawyer there from the city government, they don't want trouble. And then they said, they don't, and the judge didn't considering about what they do. So what you can feel, what do you want to feel about that? I am so upset, but I try to calm myself because I don't want to do the scandalous in the public. But obviously, I am very frustrated and angry by the time because they're letting us know very late.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been doing this process pretty much since I got here in December, getting all the paperwork. We went to the Bacolod city government office and they gave us the checklist of here's all the items that you need, here's what needs to be done. And it's taken us months to get all that together because there was Centimars for her, a Centimar for me. We had to go to the embassy to get some documents. So we're going through the list and going back to the city saying, is this right? Yep, this is right. And then they finally said, you're good to go. We had to go do the marriage training. So we went up and we had the marriage training, and they wouldn't let you do the training unless you had all the documents in. They didn't want to send you through the training. So we went through the marriage class and sat through that. And then when they sent us over to the government center, that's what she was saying, is they looked at it too. So 2 agencies looked through all of our paperwork and said, you're good, go make the appointment and go get married. And then at the last minute,
The judge.
yeah, the judge is saying no. And so that's the frustrating part to me. I'm like, well, why don't these other 2 agencies know if we have the right paperwork or not? They're the ones that seem to be gathering all the information. So I just chalked it up to, hey, this is the Philippines. Stuff's different here. Let's just, move on and we'll get it done. And the people at the courthouse even told us, don't get married by a judge. Go see a pastor or go somewhere else if this is going to be the issue here. So that's kind of...
Not the courthouse, from the
Yeah,
government.
don't get married from the courthouse. Go find a justice of the peace. And that's what we're going to try to do now, is find something else.
Yeah, and that woman was a woman. That judge is a woman. So maybe she's, are you sure she's not your ex?
Yeah, no, she's not my ex, that's for sure. Coffee Link says, would you move to Korea if you were given the option to? Nope, we're not moving to Korea, not an option. Bob C said, I think someone's using their position to discourage marrying a foreigner.
Literally, yes.
Yes.
Literally.
It
You're
sounds
right.
like they're adding red tape that isn't really there. I think, yeah, Bob, I think it's lack of communication, several things. But
No, it's not lack of communication because we agree by the two agencies. And
well, but somebody's saying there's a memo and somebody's saying there's not. So they're not communicating. Some things, they both can't be right. One of them has to be wrong, but it's okay. It's all right. I don't get in the minutia of it's the Philippines. I'm a guest here, so you know, the process is the process, and if I choose to live here, this is what you have to deal with, and so we'll figure it out. We'll get it done. It's just
Yeah,
it's frustrating because we had everything planned, and
the good thing is we don't do the, because I want to be a simple what's this, wedding, like ceremony, and then just let our witness to eat somewhere, and that's it. And then our plan to you know um, our plan to reception, it's, I should say, because instead, being practically for me, I am deciding, not him, but he agree. And one thing that I love him because he understand me. And instead that we're doing to meet my family in the beach there in Kawayan, because I know everybody have a hard time, during for El Nino, no rain, so nobody's planting, because there's very dry. So I said, instead that we're doing those one-time happiness, what if our reception, the cost, we're going to buy a sacks of rice for everybody there in the mountain, my family, so we at least it stay for them for for a couple of days or a weeks to consume, instead to one day happiness to eat, and something like that. Because my family is a farmer, but we're relying with the rain, because it's in top of the mountain. So if there's no rain, there's no planters. You can't plant anything because there's no irrigation. All the small river is getting dry. All the grass is turning to be brown due of the heat.
yeah, it's very dry here. I mean, we have to water the plants once a day and the yard and everything to keep them alive. It's
So,
just the rainy season will come soon, but the last few months have been very, very dry. So up in the mountains too, where they're all farmers, I mean, no water, no crops. So that's the issue. But I think we'll get through this. I mean, we're talking about it. We said, I told her afterwards, she was very disappointed. I was disappointed. I said, you know what? You're my wife in my heart, and I treat you like that. So a piece of paper is not going to change it. Yes, we want to be legally married, and we'll get legally married. It's just a roadblock that was so surprising to us because it happened so late. And the government officials were very much like, 'cause I said to them, you realize the wedding's in an hour. You realize we have people probably set up. We have family set up. No concern whatsoever. Like, well, I'm sorry, sir, but do you want to reschedule? It's like,
no, they can't
it's,
even
yeah,
reschedule. They can't even do anything.
no,
But
but no
the
lack of sympathy, empathy, or
oh yeah,
anything.
no. Those judges is not gonna
Yeah,
stay longer for if she does that every time to the people,
yeah,
and she's not very considering. She's not considering, and that's their mistake. That's not
right.
mine. Ours.
So we didn't lose a lot of money. We lost her dress rental, but the good news was the rental dress place said, she told them what happened, and they said, when you do get married, let us know the date and we'll take care of you. So that was nice. But, you know, it was just a whole, you plan for something, you want to get it done, and something like that happens at the end. I mean, I've got all the documents I need. I don't know why. So we're going to go to the town here, Talise, and she's going to go today and ask them, and we're going to try to find someone who can do a ceremony for us.
Mayor, hopefully
Yeah.
can do in mayor, or if it's not possible, because sometimes the town they have a schedule for free wedding, but it's a lot of people in. It's just once a year they do that. So, and I don't know if he can married for the special ceremony there, that to the city hall.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can do that. If not, then we have to find a pastor that he can legally do the ceremony wedding.
Yeah.
We don't need a party, we don't need
Mhm.
something like that. We don't want to be fancy. We just choose to be simple.
So that's really the big update. It's just we've been kind of scrambling a little, and then her brother was planning to come up here to do the work, so we said let's get him started, let's get going on that, and then we'll this week now, starting this week, we're gonna go through and regroup and see what we can do to find someone who can marry us. So
Yeah.
it'll take a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Maybe this is one of what's that, trial.
Yeah. Or there's something else that God's got planned that I really didn't want to get married at the Hall of Justice in the courtroom like that. I'd much rather get married in our front yard here with some small family and everything. So maybe in the end of the blessing, we'll be able to do it here and keep it simple and keep it nice in our front yard. So that's fine. We'll get that done. So it'll be good. But other than that, everything else is good, right? The boys are good. There's still no school because of the heat. So they just, the kids stay home and the school sends work to the parents to do. Like,
Yeah, their module.
yeah, they have a module to do. So they haven't been in school for what, 2 weeks now? Maybe 3
More
weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks they haven't had school. So just because it's been so hot here and there's no air conditioning in this building. So they let the kids stay home. But we hope everything's going good back there in the U.S. I know that, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Tim from Florida. I just said hi to him too. I know that there's a lot of things in the world going on with Iran and Israel, and then there's market concerns in the U.S. So the stock market, who knows? I mean, I don't know too much. I haven't heard too much about it. And then over here, haven't heard too much about China. I know that the U.S. and Japan and the Philippines are entering into some things, so that's good, partnerships and things like that. But, like I told Merle, I said there's going to be outside things that are going to happen that are out of our control, like this with the judge, that, you know what, you just have to say we'll move on from that. But it's not going to change us. It's not going to change our love for each other and focusing on the important things. So, yes, it's frustrating. Yes, there's things that happen, but that's part of the world we live in.
Yeah.
If there's any other questions you guys have or any other comments, please post them and we'll try to reply to them. But good to see everyone and good to be here. And the news isn't the great, but it's hey, it could be a lot worse. It could be something else more, life impacting. But as far as everything goes, at some point I'll do a budget video, but we can't do it yet because we're still not in a normal budget, because since I moved here, since I sold everything in the US, because I shipped a bunch of ballot buying boxes, but I didn't have room for everything. And if it was just me without Merle or without kids, without a house, I wouldn't need a lot of stuff. But we're in a house with her and her children, and the family comes over and we have a yard that we take care of. So I'm getting some of the things that I got rid of in Florida. So like yard tools and things like that. I'm getting some things here, but some things you just have to order on Amazon and get it. So we're doing that, and because you guys know, if you have a house in the US, when you get a new house, there's always things that you don't see that need to be repaired and taken care of. So we're doing that with the house. So the extra money that we have is right now we're putting it into the yard and the house, like her brother being here for the week to repair some closets for us and stuff. So, but we're pretty caught up. I mean, once he gets done, there's nothing major. It's just maintenance things that were neglected by the previous owner. So. And then Mike, good morning, Mike. Yes, good to hear you. Good to see you too. You can go back and look at it, but we just told everyone that our wedding got canceled at the last minute by the judge because the paperwork from the legal capacity, they didn't like what the embassy gave me, I guess. So they said no, and they're not going to marry us. And I don't know what else to do, because the legal capacity is not a U.S. document or requirement. We don't have legal capacity in the United States. It's just, hell, you can go to Las Vegas and get married by Elvis. So it's you don't need a legal capacity to get married in the U.S. It's more of a thing for here, but we did what they told us to do, and now somebody's saying it's not correct. So we'll figure it out. It's just a bump in the road, but it was disappointing last week. So we took a few days and just kind of hibernated and just was like, it affected me for a few days. I know it affected you too. You were upset, but we're over it now. We're ready to move on. We'll get it taken care of. And then the other thing is her car. We're still dealing with her car. There's an electrical issue, and we brought it to a few mechanics here, and they can't seem to find out what it is. It's essentially is the battery's dying. It's like the battery's not charging. And me being from the US, well, I always say, well, let's look at the alternator. And we did that, and the alternator's fine. The alternator was checked by 2 shops, and they said, nope, it's fine. The cables look fine. The air conditioning was checked. I mean, something is draining the battery, though. So you have to, every time you shut it off, you have to unplug one of the battery terminals. And I've already bought 2 batteries for the car, and I'm just not going to buy another battery until it's fixed. So now we're going to bring it to Toyota and just let them go through. Something in the electrical is off. So it's a good car. It runs. It's a great second vehicle to have. But as you guys know, electrical issues can be crazy, right? You can chase them down unless you've got the right equipment. And some of the local shops here just might not have that.
No, they don't. They're just basing on what they see.
Right.
But they don't check all of the wiring.
Yeah, so we'll go to Toyota. We'll get that fixed. That's been a little bit of a nuisance. It's been going on for a month or so, but. But other than that, things are good. Everything is lining up in place. I've got my ACR card finally, so now I can go ahead and get a bank account, and I can do some of the other things here, setting up accounts and mobile phones and things like that, the payment plans and things like that require you to have the ACR card. So, and I've got money put aside for, I already put money down for for my visa. So as soon as we get married, we can apply for the 13A visa, so I can get that taken care of as well too. So. What other questions, what other things do you guys have? Just, it's kind of your time. It's an open time. We're just talking and catching everyone up on what's going on here. Everything's going good. Other than that.
Hopefully, anybody just give us some answer about the legal capacity that is the court being crazy to ask for. That we have the legal capacity, get it from the Cebu. I don't know what kind of a legal capacity that they're looking for.
Yeah, the embassy gave me what they have, what they do, and I'm like, I'm sure they would have given me what I needed. They do it for foreigners all the time, and I'm sure I'm not the first one asking for a legal capacity, and they seemed very confident in what they were giving me. So, unless there's a new requirement. And again, if it's not being communicated to the embassy, they don't know. They're giving us what they always give us, so we don't know. We are inquiring of other expats who maybe have recently gotten married. Hey, did you run into this? Is this something that's new or what?
Oh, did you send the message to the Mugiri, whatever is that? Did you hear the reply or anything?
No. Yeah, some of the vloggers, there's a legal company that was started by some expats in the Dumaguete area. And I signed up to become a member of their service, and they essentially they have legal advice and stuff that you can call them and say, hey, I'm looking to buy property, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to go ahead. I think it's called Veritas Consulting or something, but it's a bunch of expats from Australia and the US and the UK, and they're in the legal field, and they know the laws here, and they partner with some other legal people here in the Philippines, and it's like it feels like a U.S. lawyer's office that can help you. And so I've reached out to them and said, hey guys, I really didn't need your services, but can you guys answer this question? I haven't heard back from them, so I'll give them until Monday, later on today, and hopefully hear from them. And then can't think of anything else. We're still going to I'm starting to make plans for a get together with my kids in the U.S. Probably in a year. We're going to fly to Los Angeles, and then my kids will fly to Los Angeles as well. Can you keep it just down a little bit? And then we'll get together as a family, because I want her to meet my kids and my family in the U.S. So we'll just all meet up in the LA area because we can fly direct from the Philippines to Los
Higda to.
Angeles, and
Higda
my
to.
kids will come to California. They're on the East Coast, but they'll fly to California to meet us and we can do something together. Mike, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's all good. It's just, I was very frustrated, but I just took a deep breath and said, you know what? This is the Philippines. It's part of, you're in a different country. You're a guest here. I'm not going to complain about it crazily. I'm not going to yell at people or anything. It's not my country. And, she can, and she does, and she gets upset for the both of us, especially on this. But, I just leave it in God's hands. It'll happen according to His time, and all I can do is I'm allowing, surrendering it all to Him and letting Him come. We're going to do everything we can do, but if roadblocks come, it's okay. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. So sorry to hear, but legal capacity is one of the biggest requirements here in the Philippines. My husband is a foreigner. Yeah, and I knew that. It's a Philippine requirement, and we were told go to the embassy to get it, and we did. And I met with the consulate, and they asked me why I was there, and I said I'm here to get the legal capacity. I'm getting married, and they looked at my other documents and said okay. And so they gave me everything that they have for that, and we submitted it. But apparently the judge here just said there's another form or another document. So I'm reaching out to the consulate today to say, is there something else that I didn't get? Because you guys gave me everything that I know the person told me. They do this with expats all the time, foreigners who need legal capacity. So unless they forgot to give me something, again, I don't know what I should be getting. I'm expecting them to give to me what I need, because I haven't seen an actual copy of the legal capacity, so I don't know. But sorry, honey. So it's just frustrating because you talk to different people. It's kind of like the U.S. too. You go to the government office at the DMV or the post office or something, and someone will tell you something, and someone next door will say something totally different. So it happens in the U.S. too.
Yes, that's what I thought also. Hyacinth, Nodnir. That's what I thought because I've been, married with American, and I am a widow actually. And yeah, that's what all the generally requirements from the foreigner that they're asked for.
And from the
And
embassy,
yeah, from the embassy. And now I think the judge had the problem on her, brain or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's the one who has to, make a problem. And actually, after that, I come down to the RTC admin, and then I told them what happened, and then and then the woman that assessed us to accept our document, she said, let me ask to the head of admin that maybe we can raffle your papers to the other judge. But the head there, she was said, no, we don't want to get trouble from one of judge there here in the court, so just let them to marry somewhere else because
Yeah.
that's their demand paper. So I don't understand why and what kind of a documents that she is crazy asking for.
Yeah.
And then even to the city hall people, city hall building, the people there is, insisted. I said, this is the only one that they needed. This
Yeah.
is the only one that, everything is, there. And then
Yeah.
until they have arguments in the telephone connecting to those crazy judges, I can say whatever that I have to say unless I don't want to mention her name because that I get into the trouble. And they're arguing, and then she's insistent she don't want to do it because she's asking for that, and we don't know where we going to get that
Right.
and what kind of documents because it's not familiar. Even the people there in the city hall, they don't know because they never have been encounter with it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and then they suggesting that you better have to, married for the pastor or anywhere here in the Philippines, you can get married, but not that place anymore. I think they have a problem to those place or to that, crazy, branch, a
Yeah.
judge.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a frustrated because you don't even think that considering, oh, they're going to be married today. She can do like said, because she can do to give us the ceremony and then say, oh, I'm not going to submit your documents unless you are going to submit the documents that I'm asking from the embassy. So I will marry you for consideration because we set your time, we set your day, and this is a last minute, but I'm not going to submit your documents to the PSA
Hmm.
unless you give us the documents that you have, uh, not now. So
Right.
that's it. That's supposed to be, but instead, they're just say they don't care. They don't care. Whatever that you were doing, they just don't want to do it. They cancel.
Yep. They just
So
don't want to.
I don't understand why she don't even think she's a Filipina, and she knows she is a judge. So supposed to be she have a heart and common sense and brain to use. How she become a judge if she's such of an idiot?
Yeah.
And she have no respect to other people. It's kind of a hypocrite person I ever know experience here.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob, I see. They should at least give a formal num- uh,
They
number of the
can't
document. They say, yeah,
they
exactly.
can't
That's
even show us what kind of document.
yeah.
They don't even show us the kind of a document, no sample. So we don't know.
Yeah, because that's what I asked when they told us that. I said, "Well, send me a copy of what you need so I can show it to the embassy and I'll say I need this." But they said, "We don't have that." And I'm like, "Well, I sure as heck don't have that." And I went to the embassy already, so it's frustrating because, it's there's a lot of emotions involved and everything. But it's, like I said, we'll get through it. We've got all the paperwork completed except for this little piece here, but we'll get through it. What else is on your mind?
Was confused here,
Yeah.
and then I can't get over with the judge. You
Yeah.
just
I know.
it's better the man. I mean the male judge than the female, because once you get the female judge, I did not know that she's the female judge.
Yeah.
Once you get the female judge, all the craziness they're going to go through and give you a problem. It's better that you have a male judge here, and you know because it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a process. We'll get through it. We're I told her, I said, look, it's not changing my love for you. It's not changing how I treat you. We're gonna get married. It's just this is a bump in the road. It's disappointing, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, they should give us a number, right? I hope you guys get a pastor from any. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what we're looking to see what the other option is. So we'll figure that out and we'll let you guys know. But I'm happy to pay somebody to come to our yard to do it here, or go somewhere else to a church or go to a building or something and get it done there too. So it's just another step that we're now going through. So she's going to go to the town here later on today and talk to them and see what's available. And
Yeah, I'm going to check, submit our documents to this town of Talisay, if what they can to do, what they can do, if where we can get married there, or someone that can come here to our house, and get married us, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I just, yeah, we can go submit our papers to the church, but the thing about it is Catholic Church, we have to go through with a lots of expenses, and I don't want that. He don't mind, but I said no, we don't need to pay a lots of money for just this preparation.
yeah.
Instead, that we're going just to save that money and then help, you know, the people that's needed for
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And that's for what I.
Right. Right. But for me, it's more of aggravation avoidance. I'll pay a fee to avoid the aggravations. I don't. I mean, but I know what you mean, and I appreciate you for wanting to save money. So there's no problem there. We'll get it all figured out. But everything's. I mean, everything is good. I mean, we're doing a lot with her family, which is great because they're over here a lot, so we entertain a lot. She has a couple sisters that live in the area, and they come over pretty frequently, which is good because we have a house that's big enough and a yard that the kids can play in. So it warms my heart when I see them all come together, and I love seeing her with her sisters and her brothers and stuff like that. So I feel good about that, and that's what I wanted this house to be, was like our own little sanctuary that the family can come and be part of. So her family are all great. The people are great. Her younger brother's here, and he's a great man. And just, I'm, happy to do things for them. So if we have work and things like that, I want to hire them and have them do it because it helps them, and they do a very good job. So,
Yeah, because last time we hired somebody else to do some electrical, which is they do good. But I told him, I said, if the job that my brothers capable can do it because they're hardworking too,
right.
and they were construction worker, they have experience to work.
Hmm.
And I said, instead that we pay somebody else, what if we just have to hire with my brothers or my family? So it can help for them, and they ask anyway if we have a war, they have a work here or something they have to do, and then they're just can come anytime to
Yeah.
do it. So that's it.
And we're lucky because we have work now that they can do because it's a new house for us, and we've got a list of 4 or 5 things that we want to get done. So it's easy to just say, okay, come on up for a week and work on this project, and we'll buy the materials and you guys do the labor and we'll pay you for it. And so it helps us and it helps them. So,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. Mm. But we still love each
Of
other.
course.
Perhaps to all those bumpy roads
Yes.
that we're going through right now, but I know everything's gonna be fine.
Yes, it will be. God's got it. That's what I always say. So we don't have it. He's got it, and the timetables, and we'll do everything we can to get it done. But just trust and leave it in His hands, and it'll get done, one way or another. So
Judges for the peace.
do they have a justice of the peace that can do the ceremony? Yeah, I don't know if they have that here. I mean, a justice of the peace is like a legal official that's what they do, is they marry people and you pay them. I don't know if they have that here, Bob.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I don't think they have a justice of the peace here.
Yeah, unless the pastor or
Yeah.
or
That would be
the
the easy
mayor.
way, yeah, and just say, but there's really no directory to look up things either here, so I can't go on, there's not like a Yellow Pages or something where I can go through and say, I mean, Google will show some things, but a lot of the businesses are not on Google here, so you can't find them, and so there's not really like a business directory. So if it's not in Google or it's not in Facebook, then I don't know how to find it unless you drive by and just see a sign. So that's a little challenging. But she knows, she's been living here for a long time in this town, in this area, so she knows most of the businesses and people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that otherwise everything else I think is going good. I mean, I love being a father figure to her children, and we're spending time together as a family, and The budgeting we're doing with her oldest son is working out really good. It was bumpy for the first 2 weeks or so, but I knew that because, when you try to teach children about handling money and managing money, there's going to be some pushback, and that's okay. But it's better that they learn how to handle it and how to manage it, because her son's going to be 18 this year, and technically he's going to be an adult and on his own. And I want to make sure that, when he gets some money in his pocket, it doesn't burn a hole in it. He can say, okay, if I spend it here, then I won't have it for here. And so that's going really well. He's responded. At first, I didn't know. The first couple of weeks, it was kind of rough. It was just, he was running out of money quickly. But now he's learning, okay, if I spend it all, then I'm not getting reloaded until the following week. So I've got to manage it through the week. So it's just teaching those basic principles. And her youngest son is, he's doing great too. He's doing good. And the kids are great. She's done a great job as a parent with your children.
He's good. Aside from now, he don't want to eat together with us because he can't watch, YouTube.
Yeah, and we're going
in
to
the
stop.
table.
Yeah, and we're going to stop that at the table because he was watching a tablet whenever we eat at the table, and at first. And my attitude is no, not at the table, put it away and you can just eat. But he's done it for a long time and I don't want to change too much. So at first we had him turn the volume down so we can't really hear it because we want to have a conversation. And so, but lately what he's been saying is at dinner time, I'm not hungry. And then when we're done eating, then he says, well, I'm hungry now, so now I can eat, but he wants to eat alone. So I understand. I've been to this rodeo a few times. I've had children before, so we're just going to say no electronics when you're eating, and that will hopefully stop that problem. Hey, kids are smart. They're going to do what they have to do.
And then yesterday he said, because he checked the old rice box that we used to put the rice before in the big box.
Yeah.
And then because we don't have a rice yesterday after lunch, and then he wanted to eat early yesterday dinner, and I said there's no rice. And cook. What I mean is cook. And then he don't know the new rice, storage. And then he checked the rice storage, the old rice storage. Instead, he said, "You guys have to reduce to 8, so we don't run out of rice." And then me and my sister-in-law were laughing. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Because you eat a lot. See, now we don't have a rice."
Why? Because I was working on my computer and he came into me and he said, "Tito Joe, how come you don't buy us any more rice?" And I said, "What are you talking about? I buy rice whenever you guys want it." "No, there's no rice. Why aren't you buying rice?" I said, "I buy rice." So anyway.
Oh, you don't tell me that.
Yeah. I remember my granddaughter had a meltdown when we took the cell phone away. Yeah, it's during the school week. We take the devices away because her youngest will stay online instead of going to sleep. And so we take it away during the school week and he can have it on the weekends. It was a distraction. But yeah, the dinner table is we're gonna cut that off pretty soon because he's getting to the age where if you're 4 or 5 years old and you just need something I understand some kids need other things because they can't be part of a conversation, but he's old enough to be part of a conversation at the dinner table, and I don't want. His oldest brother doesn't have any electronic devices. Nobody does. So it's like, you know what? You're a big boy, and you can put down the cell phone or you can put down the electronic devices. It's just part of modeling good practices because they're going to be parents someday, and you want them to be able to have that understanding.
Oh, it's not touchscreen. I don't know why. What happened with the...
Well, this is just my computer, so maybe
okay.
maybe my computer's. I think we're still live. It's just my computer is going through something right now. So, but anyway, I just I'll at some point be doing a budget video because there's some interesting things. Our budget's a little different because technically there's 4 adults and 1 child here in the house, so we do go through a lot of food and plus we're having her family over a lot to eat, and we buy the food and everything. So, but that's okay. That's me investing in their family time with them. So it's those numbers are higher than probably what somebody else's budget is. But yeah, I figure that information might be helpful to give someone an idea of what the
Yeah, and
costs are here.
like, this time is a summer, so like everybody is not busy to do things, seriously, especially the house, and the school is out, so they can just want to spend time with us here, and then we did a lot
Yeah.
for the food, but yeah, I know we can reduce that.
Yeah, we can. It's just part of, plus we're in a new house and we're spending money on the house. We're doing things, every projects that need to be done, and once those projects get done, we're gonna have a lot more disposable cash. And then we're also going to do a video about health insurance because we've had some talks about that too, and that kind of ties in with the budget. So we'll share that in the next one coming because I think those will have some interesting information too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What happened to your computer?
Oh, don't worry about my computer. We're still your phone's still going, so I assume my computer's got an issue right now. I don't know. Hopefully, we're still going. I see the red light, so.
All right, so I guess that's it. I don't know how many minutes. Maybe it's almost 1 hour.
Almost an hour, yeah.
Yeah. So yep, we're going to keep update to you guys that what's going on further about this marriage ceremony. I don't know why it comes to this. It give us a hard time, but I know there's something, a reason for this, and maybe it's better that we have to, you know, just move on from the bumpy road and then keep it forward.
Yes. So till then, look for our next ones. We'll give you some updates on the marriage, on some other things going on around here, but we just wanted to share that information with everyone.
Right. And thank you for being with us, and see you and good luck until to the next video and live.
Yep. Thank you guys. Bye.